Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
We have a phenomenal lineup for you of actually a house full.
A house full.
We do. We have Dr. Melissa Prell, who we joined at the Advanced Facility Center to learn all about what they do there. We also have Dr. Manal Fakhoury with us, and she is going to be telling us all about the most incredible event coming up, which is annual, and that is International Women's Day. And guess what the theme is this year?
What is it?
Horses!
What a concept.
I know, right? We also have Robb with us here from BEMA, and he is going to be talking about this incredible equine community, all the things we do to work together and help each other so that the equine industry can just be as successful as possible. And it's exciting to have him with us. He actually bid on this in a Equine Education Foundation event.
And he actually split it. He goes, why don't we split it and we both pay that
get
much?
One. Yeah. Yes, so that we thank him very much for that, and we're looking forward to chatting to him. We also have Pete's picking up guys now.
No. I met a real...
He met a real cowboy today.
Yeah, that's
Imagine
right.
that. So we have Greg Robinson joining us, and we're going to talk some horsemanship as well. So we're very excited, and then we'll have our normal, of course, closing segment and all that good stuff. But we're going to start off with some news and events mentions first. Oh, we have to start with the sad one?
We got to start with this one. You want me to...
Our prayers and thoughts go out to Florida beach horses, dear friends of ours. We love these folks. They rescue horses, and they actually then give them a job riding down the beach. It's a rough job, right? They give them a great life and feed them and take care of them. And they've had some very upsetting circumstances this year, and we have been searching with them. Thousands of people have been looking for their horse Cloud, who went missing. And sadly, unfortunately, this week, they did find Cloud. She was in a pond nearby, passed away. So we wanted to update you. We don't like the bad news, and we're very sad for them. I've cried my eyes out for them.
But they have closure, thank goodness.
They do have closure.
I don't know if I could live with myself knowing that it could possibly have been somebody taking the horse.
Yes. So we just send our deepest condolences to these lovely folks, and we certainly hope that 2025 improves for all of you. You've been through a lot, and we love you guys, and thank you for what you do for these horses. It's great. Hey, on a brighter note.
Where's your Valentine? You already used it all?
I already used it all. So the Green Pharmacist, that's green with an E on the end, they have the most amazing CBD products. Dr. Natalie Solomon, who is a doctor of pharmacy, makes these products on her farm in a licensed lab. They're all independently tested. And Valentine's Day, they have this amazing little kit that isn't here because I'm using it. Yeah. And you get wonderful, wonderful face skin, amazing bath bomb.
A what?
A bath bomb.
What's
it goes off like a bomb in the bath.
With an English accent? Bath bomb.
Say it in American for me.
Bath bomb.
Oh, there you go. I'm not doing that. And then they have another massage type lotion that helps you if you have aches and pains. It comes in a roll-on. Amazing products. So if you need a Valentine's Day gift, it comes in a lovely little packet, which isn't here because I'm using it.
She took it home.
That's right. Pete, tell us what this is.
The Warriors Gala. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a fun night. This is a group that they take veterans out on the boat and fish and give them experience to get away from all the stuff that they've dealt with, PTSD, They do a great thing for these warriors.
And this is the 4th annual Warriors Gala, and it's February 28th, and you can get tickets for that. And
I'll be
join
there.
them.
And
you'll be
there.
dancing.
Yeah, and you'll
I'll
be
be
there.
bidding on stuff. Hey, Ocala Dog Ranch, we're so excited.
Whoop, whoop,
Ocala
whoop.
Dog Ranch has partnered with Live Oak International to bring dog sports to this long-time event. So there will be dock diving.
And now Louisa can say, if you have a horse, you probably have a dog, and now
You can take
if you're
that dog.
going to Live Oak,
Yes.
you probably are going to see the horses. Now you're going to see the dogs.
March 13th to 16th, that's at Live Oak International. Go and see Ocala Dog Ranch. I'm so excited for them.
I'm excited.
It's a big thing. Hey, a quick shout out for our friends at Pat Myers Electric. Listen, they were at my house this week. They did some work for me, and I'm going to tell you, there's nobody else you want on your farm but these guys. They are meticulous. My house was cleaner when they left than when they arrived. Imagine that. And they even dug out my driveway so that my gate would open and close properly. And
Wow.
I don't think that falls under electrician. But with these guys, it doesn't matter. They just do the job. And they do it so well. And you never have to worry if you have horses and they're in and out of gates and around your animals.
Well, Pat says for your current needs, so that was your need.
That was my current need, digging
That's
the
right.
driveway. So anyway,
The
shout
spark
out
of
to Pat Myers.
Ocala. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, he's the best. Their teams are amazing. Oh, I'm excited about this.
Oh.
So from our farm to yours since 1883, Larson Hay, they're wrapped. Their building is wrapped. And you know who did it?
Smash Wraps.
You know it. And it is gorgeous. We're going to go over their team picture tomorrow outside this because this is just beautiful. They did the trucks. And
They did the
gorgeous.
trailers that are out
Yes.
on 27.
They did.
They are, I mean, phenomenal.
So for all your wrapping needs, not present wrapping, building wrapping, trailer wrapping, vehicle wrapping, whatever, Smash Wraps.
Where did they get the pictures from?
I don't know. Idaho.
Idaho.
Idaho's finest alfalfa. Speaking of Larson Hay, these horses here, if you're on the radio, you need to turn on Facebook or Equus TV. You need to see them. So these horses are the new OPD horses that are now downtown for Ocala Police Department. And while we're doing a shout out for Larson Hay, we need to do a shout out and say thank you for feeding them, making them fat and happy, and keeping them on nice, comfortable bedding. So there's a double shout out for Larson Hay today.
There you go.
Hey, the Children's Charity Classic is coming up February 21st. They're still looking for sponsors. Free tickets for everybody to come and watch this. We just paired up teams with a character and a children's charity. 10 children's charities in Marion County were chosen, and February 21st at HITS between 6 and 9 p.m. they're going to have this jumping competition, and it's all fundraising for these 10 children's charities.
And
this is the inaugural.
They pull names for a junior rider,
Yep.
a adult rider, and then a professional as a
And
team.
then a character. I'm going as Mary Poppins.
No.
Yes. So there is a $10 cash parking fee, but that's it. It's family friendly. You can get your costume on, go out and join in. You want to be the Cat in the Hat or the Mary Poppins or one of those. Anyway, it's going to be an amazing event. It's the first one that United Way have done like this, and it makes me excited to see United Way get involved with the horse world, because that's what we're all about.
That's right.
So this is exciting stuff, so don't miss this. A quick mention on decoupling. We're having an equine advocacy meeting this week at CEP, and this is kind of top of the list. So when you hear about decoupling, that affects our entire equine industry, because the thoroughbreds here are a huge big deal. They're a massive economic driver, and decoupling is something we do not want.
What is decoupling?
Decoupling is when you separate the casino from the horse racing. And we don't want that, because the casino is what helps to keep the horse racing happening. So when that happens, you then will end up with a casino somewhere that doesn't have racing anymore. And we don't want that at all. We're 150% against that, and we stand with FTBOA on that, who are constantly fighting this battle for us. So if you hear about this, share with as many people as you can. This is not something that we want to see happen. Oh, we got to close with something funny.
Azores?
Azores, of course.
And Louisa.
Yes. I was at church on Sunday, and it came running out. And it was running around, and then it ran back in. So I went back to make sure it was back in, and I got a cuddle with Azores. Have you ever seen Azores? It's got like stripy legs and stuff. It's really cool looking. It's a zebra and a horse.
A what?
A zebra.
A zebra?
It's a zebra.
Okay, it's
and
a zebra.
horse. Hey, and happy Valentine's Day, folks. Seriously, happy Valentine's Day. We're almost there. We're close to the most romantic holiday of the year. I know
if
Pete's
you're listening
got
on
me something right.
If you're listening on the radio, it is now.
We got to wrap up. We'll be right back with Dr. Prell. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Lisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative, and we are at the Advanced Facilities Center in Summerfield visiting with Dr. Melissa Prell from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Very impressed with everything that we've seen so far today. Of course, Dr. Matthews really laid an amazing foundation here to get this program really, really successful. And then Dr. Prell came in and has done an amazing job continuing that legacy, really doing what is absolutely her passion. Dr. Prell, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for coming out and visiting. And, we love to have people come and visit and take a little bit of what we do home. It's really important for us here, and we all enjoy what we do, and getting to share that with anybody that wants to spend some time here. We will absolutely welcome that.
I'm amazed, and honestly, as impressive as everything is, I'm most impressed with how passionate you are about it. It's obviously a really, really huge part of your life, and
Yeah.
I see you as you're showing us everything. Just see your love and passion of this, and it's what you specialized in. It's what you wanted to do with your veterinary career.
Yeah, when I started out, as many vet students do, they don't really know which direction they want to go. And I would say, for me, my turning point was my clinical year. So that last year of vet school, I did that at Colorado State. And my very first rotation was the equine reproduction rotation. And that just sealed the deal for me. So at that point, I knew which direction I wanted to head. I was able to do an internship at the University of Illinois. And then I was selected to do the residency back at Colorado State. So definitely was lucky to end up there in one of the top programs for equine reproduction. And, timing wise, it worked out perfectly that Dr. Matthews was looking for a little bit of help as I was finishing up. Was absolutely blessed to land back here. I'm a Florida native, grew up here, and was really, really lucky to get invited to become part of the Peterson Smith team.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the services that are offered here at AFC, and just kind of cover that for us a little bit. I know it's a lot. There's a lot of services.
Yeah. So we do absolutely everything in this facility pertaining to equine reproduction. So we have the mare side of things, where we will breed mares to carry their own pregnancies, as well as doing embryo transfers. And we will also do stallion management for fresh breedings, as well as cooled collections that we'll ship out. We are also a qualified facility that we can freeze semen and export it internationally as well. And then going into a little bit more of our advanced reproductive techniques, we are the only ICSI laboratory. So ICSI stands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and that's the horse's answer to like in vitro fertilization. So we can do that here as well. And as I mentioned, we're the only facility doing those injections here in the state of Florida. So from start to finish, we can do absolutely everything here. It's kind of a one-stop shop for breeding. And then, once we're able to get a positive pregnancy, we offer foaling services as well, where the recipient mares or just client mares that we've bred can come back, and we foal them out for the owners as well. So
that's incredible. You have the foaling barn,
Yep.
which is amazing, and each stall has a nice little camera set
Yep.
up in it, and then you have somebody here also throughout the night, so you
24
don't have
hours.
that staying up all night worrying that last
Exactly.
week. You've got somebody to do that.
Exactly.
And then you do all inclusive the post birth care as well, which you would have to have a veterinarian come to the farm to do those services if not. So that's wonderful that you can get all that post care, make sure that
All in one.
the baby's nursing successfully and everything went smoothly.
Yeah, IgG gets checked on every foal. That gives us an idea of the passive immunity that the mare will give to the foal through the colostrum. So we check an IgG on everything that's born. We will also get a baseline complete blood count. Sometimes these foals come out and they look perfectly normal, but we'll see abnormalities on that blood work. So it allows us to kind of get a jump start on treatment before we are actually seeing the clinical signs as they would present as a sick foal.
So it's really nice, a peace of mind, comfort that everything's taken care of.
Exactly.
You're not missing anything important.
Right.
And then also you have recipient mares here too.
Yes. So we
A nice big herd.
Yes, we have a really large herd of recipients, the largest in the Southeast. So we definitely can, take care of the large amount of embryos that we will flush. So it's nice because it takes a little bit of strain off of what am I going to do with this embryo. There's been a shortage of recipients the last couple years, and people were always looking for their own recipients to use. But I'll tell you, it's a lot easier when you have 100 that you're working with in your active herd to pick from, as opposed to lining up one.
And you mentioned something I just want to emphasize, and it was actually an interesting thought that I hadn't had, but there are those that might say, oh, those poor recipient mares, how sad. But actually, a lot of them were not successful in their sport that they were in.
Right.
And perhaps they weren't a pedigree that could go to a expensive breeding shed. So actually, it gives them a second career.
Right.
Where they aren't discarded. They actually come and live in a wonderful place in a beautiful 100 acres with green hay and are perfectly well taken care of. And as you mentioned when we were talking, if they were feral out in a wild herd, they would be bred every year anyway. So because that's what they do and in the wild. So actually it's a very natural sort of a life for them, and they have a chance at obviously surviving, living well, and having a job.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's they're housed in a herd setting. So everything that we do here is essentially how it would be if they were in the wild, right? So they live in their herd setting, and really all they need to do is just have babies
and enjoy life
and enjoy that life of just, you know, doing what they would naturally be doing.
Exactly. And I like that you pointed that out, because we really emphasize on the show that and seeing the way they're cared for and how healthy they are. And obviously they're in the hands of veterinarians, so they don't have any concerns at all. So that's amazing. So really full service, everything, the only ICSI lab in Florida. So there goes a lot of that risk in the shipping, possibilities of them getting lost or something going wrong. You don't have that concern because it's all here in-house. And we're going to talk more about what ICSI is in another segment, so you can join us for that. So really full service, everything you could need as far as equine reproduction goes, you do it all here.
Exactly. You know, and I think it's important to note, we do it on a varying scale as well. So we have the people that have one mare. I won't even call her the brood mare. Maybe it's their little kid's pony that they use to play around. And we'll go all the way up to the full scale production breeder that is breeding multiple mares, and they have that as you know, their business. So we'll do people's pets as well as full scale, you know, production.
Amazing. So impressive. This facility is so impressive, Dr. Prell, so impressive. Obviously her passion here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care's Advanced Facility Center here in Summerfield, in the horse capital of the world. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
We've got a couple of special guests in the studio. Very excited to have a couple of guests that have never been with us before, which is amazing. And we have Dr. Manal Fakhoury here with us, and we also have Barbara Fitos with us. And they're here to talk about very special stuff. But before we get started on that, I'd love a little background on you guys. I know you're deeply rooted in our community. I know I've seen you at lots of events. Of course, I've known you many years, and even though I messed your name up, which I'm sorry about. And Manal, I know I've met you at lots of events and in passing and things, but let's just get a little background.
Thank you for having us, and it's so nice to meet you, and you're an icon yourself, so I have to say, especially once you
Pete, she's talking to you.
Yeah, she's talking to you.
But the minute you say equine or horses, your name is right there, and I think that's beautiful. And for myself, I came right when I got married in '87. I showed up here, and my very next day for my honeymoon, I started my residency at Shands Hospital. So I have a doctor of pharmacy degree, and a few months into that residency, I became pregnant with our first child. We have 5 amazing children that are now young adults. And big news is that our daughter and her husband, who are both chiropractors that were living in LA, and with all the LA fires, said, you know what, we're moving and we're going to come back here to Ocala. So it's exciting. And we have 5 grandchildren. But my community service really has created this nice, rooting into the community because of, and I've said to my daughter who's coming now is, this is how you build your home, is you connect with all the people in the community. So I've been very fortunate, and it's not without someone like this lady right here.
Yes. Barbara, you're long time in our community as well.
Long time in the community. Been here for almost 47 years. And I always tell the timing of that because our son was 3 months old when we first moved here, and he'll turn 47 this year. So that's always my barometer in terms of how long I've been here. I was privileged to have raised him as a single mom since he was 3 years old. Was privileged to have a wonderful career in banking for 25 years in human resources. Retired when I was elected county commissioner. So was honored to serve the community for 1 term as county commissioner. And then following my term in office, I was asked by the wonderful Frank Hennessy, who is the founding chairman of our community foundation, to put together the community foundation. So was honored to do that. And they have done just such wonderful things since my retirement in terms of solidifying their presence here in the community. So officially retired, but still loving to work.
Busy there. Yes, I know you are.
All of the wonderful events and things that have come to me and come to my involvement because of the banking career, because obviously my tenure as county commissioner in public office, and then the nonprofit sector as well. So I've been able to really
So you've watched Ocala grow.
We've watched it grow. When we first moved here, the mall wasn't here.
What?
It was being built. It was being built. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how long it's been.
Incredible.
So there's been a lot of changes.
So tell us what March 7th is, because it's important for us 3.
Okay, I'll be here by myself.
So it's officially March 8th is the big day. However, this year, for the first time since we started back in 2018, we are doing it on the 7th because that's a Friday. And it's International Women's Day. So for Ocala, it's our 8th year. But for the global world, it's like it started in 1911. So imagine. So this is more than a 100-year-old tradition.
That's incredible.
And I believe it was started in Europe. It was rooted with the labor force and recognizing and advocating for women's rights. So, and each year what we do, and I'm going to, Barbara has been really just a stalwart, supporter and a chair of the event, from. I'm trying to remember if the first year, but if not the first year, ever since that she has been.
So this is something you do every year?
Annually.
Annually, you do this to celebrate International Women's Day, and we have some photos if you happen to be watching, not just listening. We do, if you're on Equus TV or you're on Facebook, you can see some of the photos from prior years while you've been celebrating Women's Day. I think it's a great, wonderful, but makes it a little bit more special this year is the theme. Tell us what the theme is.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'll talk to Barbara.
We have honored women in different sectors of the community based on an international theme every year. This year's international theme is Accelerate Action, and it's all about women's equity and women's empowerment and whatnot. We have honored women that are trailblazers in our community initially. We had a marvelous event at the Riley Arts Center initially that kind of featured all of the nonprofits that are run by these amazing women in our community and just kind of celebrated each other that first year. And then every year thereafter, it's been a specific industry sector or community sector that we've honored. We've honored women in the arts, we've honored women in medicine, we've honored women in education, we've honored women in business, and last year we honored women in law and government. And this year, as we decided on what we wanted to feature this year, we said, it's going to be women in equine. because the horse industry is so vital to this community in all facets. But there are some incredible women and amazing women that are doing some wonderful work, whether it be as not only as owners, but as trainers, as equestrians themselves, working in veterinary medicine, working in all of the various industries that support this marvelous economic driver for our community. So we said, yes, we're going to do Women in Equine this year. And the response has been remarkable. As Manal said, not knowing a lot about the equine industry, I had my education through Frank Hennessy, who has the wonderful Hennessy Arabians, and learned everything there was to know about Arabians. And then, very, very gradually, went into the thoroughbred industry and whatnot. And the wonderful thing about the equine industry is that you all are so wonderful about educating all of us. And we wanted to kind of recognize that and give back in a way by honoring those women that are doing such amazing work in this industry. So, yeah, that's
I know a woman that does that.
No, not me.
Not you.
Not me.
Wasn't you.
Well, we found, and I love that you brought that up, because in our partnership with Marion County Public Schools, one of the things that Pete's even been at some of the reading programs. We do reading with horses in the downtown market. We find out of 400 or 500 kids, there's maybe 5 or 6 who've been around horses because it's just not affordable for everybody. And so that next generation coming up isn't getting that interaction with horses. It used to be everybody had a horse and hardly anybody had a car. Now everybody has a car and hardly anybody has horses. You have to be able to afford one. And so to us, finding that, being able to get those kids involved in touching horses, learning about horses, Equine 101s, capturing that next generation coming up, because in the horse capital of the world, that's important.
It is important.
It really is.
It is
and
important.
The impact, you mentioned the economic driver, it's huge. It's $4.2 billion a year. That's a billion in Marion County.
Exactly.
So alone. Yes. So it's very exciting. So I'm thrilled that you've picked such an amazing sector of our community. We love it. There's so many amazing women in the equine industry. So I'm very excited. I love that you reached out to me, Manal, because and she was like, we've never done this before. And I said, it's horses, it's easy.
And I said, God always finds and sends the right person. It's just so beautiful. So Louise has really been instrumental.
You can count on one hand how many horse people she doesn't know.
True. Yes, that's probably very true.
That's true. So we've got about a minute, 20 seconds left. So let's emphasize this event and people getting involved. And it's March 7th, so it's the day before the official International Women's Day, which is March 8th. So remember to celebrate your ladies, not just on Valentine's Day, but on March 7th and March 8th. And it's going to be at the C.F. Klein Center, correct?
Yes, it's a luncheon. From 11:30 to 1. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. There's some sponsorship available. Dr. Rulon is our presenting sponsor.
Great
Equine Performance Center. Yeah, so he'll be actually helping with presenting the awards as well.
He's
so
a wonderful
excited
guy.
About that.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man. We love Dr.
And it's completely volunteer committee that we're doing, and anyone that wants to get involved is welcome to reach out. But we're excited, and nominations just closed, and so now we'll be going through the process of selecting the honorees.
I love that. Well, thank you both so much for everything you've done in our community, your service, everything that I know you guys do a lot, and we miss that sometimes. We're busy with horses, but I know you guys are amazing in our community, and we're blessed to have you both.
Thank you.
So thanks for
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We will. Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centres for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specialising in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have some special guests with us in the studio. Very excited to have Ian Robb here with us. And we also have Rose here. Rose, welcome. Do you like being called Rose or Rosalie?
Just Rosie's good.
Just Rosie?
Yes.
Okay, Rosie is then. Good. So, Ian, it's been a few months now, hasn't it? Actually, it's been longer than that. But we had an amazing event at Jambalaya, and you are a big-time supporter of everything in our community, especially equine, and we love that. Thank you for everything you do. You are OTT, as we say, over the top. And so we actually decided it'd be fun to raffle off some interviews on the show. And so there was one, it ended up being two. Because of Ian. And Ian bid on one of those interviews, and that money was to go to the Foundation for Equine Education. And we raised quite a lot of money in a very short sort of 2-hour event at Jambalaya. We're very, very blessed to have you as part of our chamber and that you bid on that interview and got it. So, and Ian being the guy that he is, instead of being like, I want to promote myself and all this, he said, I just want to talk about the equine community and how I love being involved and how much here in the horse capital goes on to help people. Either to learn about the industry or to help the industry or to raise money for the industry. And then Rosie is actually a student at CF, and she is now working with Ian to learn more about what he does. So that's exciting. So he wanted to bring her along as well to talk a little bit about what she does. So Ian.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. So personally, I have to say that the Equine Initiative is an amazing program. You do such a great job with it. And I've been super impressed. And I'm also super impressed with the Chamber of Commerce. So when I came into town and I started seeing the neighborhood here, I thought it was really important for us to give back. So I was a sponsor for the Harvest Market down there with Lynn.
Yeah,
which was so important.
bless her. Yeah.
She was great.
Wasn't she?
And then we did the sponsorship for the Hobby Horse event.
Hobby Horse Equestrian Games at the Florida Horse Park.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Which was fun. And I've done a lot of different sponsorships with the Gentle Carousel.
You have. The
Therapy.
Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy horses are absolutely amazing people, and you've stood by them and supported them and helped them along their way. In fact, that's one of the reading programs that Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses does during the summertime at the market. And they have Magic, who's an official OPD officer, the little miniature horse. And we do the reading program, have a few hundred people, little kids show up.
They read a book, and the actual character comes out for all the kids to touch.
Which is amazing.
Mind-blowing.
It is. It's incredible. So I know you've supported George and Debbie and helped them with what they do. They're 501c3, and they do amazing work, don't they?
No, absolutely. They do such an amazing work. And so when you were at a barn or a farm right there, you said, listen, we need to support them. I did that. I wanted to support them.
You did. It was no question. Just like that.
And then what I loved about it is developing those relationships. And working together as a team, as a community, and making things happen. And the Ocala community is pretty amazing. Because, yeah, you say it's a horse capital world, but it's really the people here that really makes it stand out. Everyone's really nice. We all want to work together. And I traveled around a lot to a lot of the bigger shows, being an independent Beamer partner. And I've been, let's say, the top 2 performer in selling the horse set and the human set. And I wanted to give back to the community, and what I've done now is I've been
borrow money off this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
being a partner right there at the World Equestrian Center, which is one of the top places to visit in the world. And I thought, what better way to help out to show people what it's like to be an entrepreneur. In the equine world, and helping people on out. And what I love about it is that I had an opportunity with you to go over to Central College, and I had a chance to meet Rosie. And I talked about what it was like to do something like this in the equine world. And she had a little fire in her belly. She had a little excitement to kind of join me, and she's been learning and all that. And this past weekend, she's now an official Beamer individual partner. And so we're excited to have her join us.
So
Rosie, you're an equestrian.
I am an equestrian.
What kind of horses do you have?
So I only have one horse, and she's a rescue horse. She's from a kill pen.
Good for you.
Yes, she's 7 now. I've had her since she was 3. She's an amazing little horse. I can only afford one right now, unfortunately. So she's my only one. But I do jumpers. And
what breed is she?
So she is quarter horse and Arab, I think, but I haven't tested her exactly what she is.
Find out, but that's what she looks like.
Yeah, that's what.
And you jump?
Yes, I do jumpers.
So tell us what Ian has done for you coming in to be, hey, I want to see what this is about. What did he do for you?
So Ian has been a great mentor. He's taught me all kinds of things, especially with Beamer. And also with networking and getting to know people. It's been a really, really good experience. He came to the College of Central Florida. I'm studying equine currently. I didn't know anything about Beamer at the time, and then he came in and introduced it. And I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. This seems to be something that I want to learn about. And he was like, well, we have I have an opportunity for you if you want to come learn, and and so it kind of went from there, and so.
And we're having a great time with
it's all about the next generation. I mean, it really is coming up, to learn about everything as much as you can about the horse world. You can't know too much here. You're in CF, which that's an incredible program. I mean, we're so blessed to have that here and to have that opportunity to learn. But then if you can get out and do, come with Ian to some of the chamber events and we're at Sean Wardley's this week, which, not going to do much better than that. That's really exciting, and we've got another exciting experience next month that I haven't told anyone about yet.
Oh.
It's really exciting. And then we'll be at Linda Pirelli's in April. So lots of great opportunities to be around horse people and learn more. And the more you can network, the better your future's going to be. And then if you learn entrepreneurship as well, that's something that, a lot of young folks starting out don't get a chance to learn. They don't teach you in high school how to do that. So,
Ian, you have some exciting news. You had something in the main arena at the World Equestrian.
Yes. So part of my partnership is that I was able to have a jump in there. So I got a Beamer jump made, and it was there for the Grand Prix. We had a kind of a fun time there for the first time I was there. That when the Marines came in town, they jumped out of the airplane and the parachutes.
I bet that was cool.
That was really cool.
But what was really interesting was as it happened, after the first jump, second jumper breaks a pole, and then the third jumper breaks a pole. And I'm like, I might not have a jump left for the rest of the 20 people. And so Pete and I are laughing. We're carrying those poles, and now we're going to make a table with this. So, Brody Robertson does a great
It's going to be an expensive table.
Exactly.
Very expensive table.
Exactly. But Brody does a great job at making those jumps. And what I like is having different businesses from the Chamber of Commerce working with me in that cabin, giving them an opportunity to shine. And we kind of talked about it with Jeff Schultz and having the different companies come work on Saturday, from doing sort of a networking type thing where they come to my cabin, we have some fun, and then we go and watch the Grand Prix together. So it's going to be a fun thing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
She emailed me about that today. It's a wonderful idea. It really is.
Absolutely. So we're having
I want to thank you. We got the Winnie, which means we have just under a minute. Rosie, thank you.
Yes,
I wish you the best of luck. I know you're going to have a great time learning everything there is to learn out there, and it's exciting that you're in that program and you're an equestrian too. Ian, thank you for all you do for our community. You continue to support us and back us and stand with us, and we love your support. We are very grateful for everything you do. You're a friend and a great partner, so thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. We are going to wrap things up, and then we are going to have Greg Robinson here with us.
Yay.
I'm not saying anything else about
don't
that.
say anymore.
Coming back in just a minute. Stay with us. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifencer Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC. The team of professionals at Equifencer Florida specialize in equestrian fencing. Equifencer Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed.
Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I ain't scared of you.
Oh, he's not. Oh!
Back on the Horse Talk Show.
He's not scared of me.
I'm not scared.
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And this is Greg Robinson of Greg Robinson Horsemanship.
Yes, ma'am.
You named your business after yourself. That's smart.
Well, that way people can find me.
I know, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you and Pete met today.
Oh, yeah. So Charlotte and I were
at a yummy place.
At Yum Yums. So Charlotte
next to
and
Larson Farm.
That's right.
Oh, well done.
Very good.
We have him trained in one show.
That's right. Charlotte and I were eating at Yum Yums, and we were going to a lesson, and I said, well, we got plenty of time to eat. You want to eat here? And she's like, yeah. And we had seen Greg walk up and get his food, and I said, Charlotte, you want to sit with somebody?
Cowboy?
Yeah, no. You want to sit with somebody? And I know Charlotte's always friendly, so I was like, yeah, he seems interesting, and you never know who you're going to meet. We sit down, and Greg is just telling stories, and it's just amazing. Where are you from, Greg?
Idaho.
You know what came from there?
Larson.
Larson Hay.
I know, it's fine. It's alfalfa.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm from Idaho. Grew up cowboying. I kind of had a hat on since birth. And,
Yes, sir.
Been in love with horses my whole life.
So you told us a lot of stories. Tell us your movie story. I like that story.
Through a cowboy church service, met Pastor John Riggs, who was the host of Cowboy Authentic. That was a show that ran for a few years on RFD TV. And they'd go to different places, even overseas, to show the difference in the horsemanship, the gear, the cattle handling, and whatnot. And they'd always have a biblical message along with it. And he called me and he said, hey, you're from out in that buckaroo country. Can you get us on a buckaroo rig outfit? And I said, sure. So they flew me out with them, and we did 4 episodes out there, and that's where I met Jeff Tucker of Flying T Entertainment. And he was involved with the movie Nail 32. And they called me to be an extra, me and my son. So we went and did that, and then they called me and said, well, plug into the actor side of the website, you're Sam in the movie. So I go, all right. So I read the script, and I find out I'm doing a one-on-one scene with Brad Johnson, who's been in like 35 major movies. And I called the producer. I said, I'm just a cowboy, right? You'll be fine. So I got, that's my acting career right there. But my son was with me, and 3 of my horses were in it. And my stud horse was ridden by the star of the show in every scene.
Go watch that movie now.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a great message.
That's incredible.
So you also telling stories about horsemanship, which was always fun. Tell us the one, because you do help more than just Western people. Tell us about what you were talking about with the horse when you asking them to flex or they start leaning on you. That was a great.
Well, I've got a mission. I'm on a mission. I've been in the industry for a long time. Seen a lot of things that I didn't like.
Yes, sir.
And I want to be the guy who steps up and says, look, we can train horses to the top of their game without it costing them their integrity, their mental or physical well-being.
Wow.
I want to teach that if you're patient and use a little more kindness, because you think about it, everybody who got into the business, you loved a horse at one point in the game or you wouldn't be doing it.
Yes, sir.
Right? But then you start chasing these gold buckles and the career earnings, and it changes you.
Yes, sir.
And the horse becomes more of a tool. And I want to get that message out there that whether you're English or Western, which it's just horsemanship. I don't care the breed, the event, or what pants you're wearing when you do it. It's horsemanship.
I want to use that one.
So this week, I did a clinic at Stephanie Pear's place, who's a dressage rider, very accomplished. This morning after I visited with you folks, went and rode with Shelley Francis, who's a famous dressage trainer, and it's just horsemanship. So that's
the horse is the horse is the horse.
Yeah, back to what you asked about patience. If I ask you a question and you give me the wrong answer, I'm not going to change the question. I wouldn't be a very good instructor, right? I'm going to help you find the answer.
Yes, sir.
But when we're riding our horses, you think about how many times you've asked something of them, they gave you the wrong answer, you change the question. You kick harder, you pull harder, you change direction, you're going to do something different. That's changing the question. That doesn't make you a believable fair rider, an instructor.
Yes, sir.
Our job as trainers is to teach the horse how to learn. And I can't do that by force and reaction. So when one jams up on me and just goes to leaning, I'll sit there all day. I got nothing better to do with my life than ride a horse anyway. So I'll sit there and wait. I'm not adding any more pressure from my hands, my legs. And when I feel it start to happen, I don't get greedy and ask for the full move. I just stop, let them think about it. And them horses start hunting that. They get so soft and willing. Even older horses. I rode one here the other day that traveled like a llama. I mean, his head was like this. And it was a trainer. He said, I can't do anything with him.
I watched a video you sent us. You were doing some transitions, and they were so smooth, and you were talking about how important that is, you know. And I see a lot of people, they get geared up to change either from a walk to a jog or to a lope, and everything changes, you know, with them, and they don't necessarily feel it, but you can see it when you're watching. And I watched this video and I thought, wow, that's how you do it. And it was beautiful. It was so smooth.
Thank you. Well, you know, we get in a rush, and we demand a lot from those animals, right? And we're always saying, what you have to do for me to make me happy. But we need to roll that back our way and go, what have I got to do to help you understand this, instead of just force my will upon you? I don't want to run a dictatorship here. I want it to be a true partnership.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's hocus pocus and whatnot, but energy, patience, you know, and train from here.
Yes, sir. You also talked about that we know Caton Prell, Pat's son.
Yes. Yes.
And you had him in your class, and tell us about what he said that probably meant the world to you.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to say that. I mean, he did say it, but it was the best compliment I ever got. A friend of mine, good friend of mine, who trains here in the area, Cliff Shad, said, "You're not going to believe what Caden said to me." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Well, I asked him, what do you think of Greg's horsemanship and riding with him?" He said, "Well, I haven't ridden with or heard or watched anybody like that since I rode with Tom and Bill Dorrance." And
that gave me goosebumps.
I tell you,
That knocked your socks off.
That's
right now, it's hard for me to say it without kind of choking up. I mean,
yes, sir.
You don't get a better compliment
Yes,
than that.
sir. That's, and I know Caton really well.
Yes.
He does not lie.
No, he has no filter.
No filter at all. Good and bad.
Yes. Yes.
And I heard Pat warned you about that.
Yes. Yes,
So
he
you're
did.
from Idaho, but you live in Texas, and you're headed back to Texas, is that right?
You know, I come down a week ago.
Or you met him and decided to stay another 2 weeks. Happens to people.
No, I come down to do a clinic this weekend, and there's people who want private lessons and help with troubled horses and whatnot, so I'm going to stick around for another week. And I want to go watch the Grand Prix on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You can't miss
So
that. Well, the
I show up
questions
like
and
this,
stuff,
and people are looking at me like, "Are you lost?" And I'm like, "No, no."
No, I'm
I love watching them jump.
Or you can always join us for the CEP.
So the other thing I wanted you to say is what you said about people that watch a video. What was the comment about their horsemanship that you said?
The Top Gun theory?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was having a discussion with Pat Prell, and Pat and I actually became really good friends. I was doing a clinic at his place, but not his clinic, my clinic. And I apologized to him. I said, you know, I've cussed some Pirelliites in the past. I said, but I realized the reality of it is this. It's like I've watched Top Gun about 20 times. That does not mean I can jump in a fighter jet and go fly the dang thing. Because if I try, I'm going to die in some wreckage and probably take a bunch of people out with me. So when people are watching these videos and trying to claim that name, they got no feel, no timing. So
That's important.
Well, thank you for coming,
Yes.
Greg, and we will be back
Greg
on the Horse Talk
Robertson, Horsemanship. Yeah, he's staying with us for the last segment
Yes.
too, so we'll be back. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifencer Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing, and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, also online at ttdistributors.com.
Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe for all your current barn needs.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louise Butt.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
We've got Greg Robinson, and guess I got a surprise guest, Charlotte Cannon.
Yay!
I'm so excited to be here.
She made me cry. I was like, I didn't know you were here, and I saw her, and
But the best part is I called her and I said, I got this guy, I want you to come on the show. He's really good. And I have a surprise guest, and she's like, I can fit him in, but no surprise guest.
Yeah,
and
we're
I was
full.
like, oh, yeah.
We've already got 6 surprise guests today, so
You'll let this one in, I guarantee you.
He was right, and I cried. John,
Well,
thank you for
I'm
being here.
so excited to come and see you. Earlier this year, after the Hurricane Helene, up in our neck of the woods, I live near Tryon in western North Carolina. Louisa and
Betsy
from
Larson Farms,
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Yes, they brought us some of that alfalfa. And there was a great need in our area. You know, people were really suffering, and the animals were really suffering.
Don't start me off.
No, I'll control myself. But you and Betsy showed up with a trailer full of hay and feed and blankets and halters and fly spray and just so much stuff. And you do not know the impact you made.
We did, because we got to see it, and it was
amazing.
We got to pray with some people. We had these.
I still have mine on.
You still have yours on. We took a lot of these. Oh, yeah, I got loads of these.
Oh, really?
I got bags of them at home. You're welcome. And that one matches you, so we're good.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and we gave those to so many people, and they prayed with them. And we met the loveliest people who were trying to give us stuff. One set of people we met gave me a pillow because I forgot to bring one with me, and they gave me. I said, I'm not taking your pillow, and she insisted, like, don't block my blessing. Here's your pillow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I know. We met like the loveliest people, but what an amazing bunch of strong people in those mountains up there that are just amazing folks, and we were so blessed to be there. And there was a couple of guys there from Ohio that had come in to stay at Tammy's campground and help, and I went and gave them a bag of those bracelets, and I said, here, why don't you give out some of these while you're traveling around? And he goes, that'll go well with our Bibles.
Wow.
Then I went,
wow.
Oh, wow, that worked out good. Yeah. Can I have some Bibles? No, it was good. It was amazing to go and help. And, you know, there's nothing more rewarding in the whole world than when you get to go and help people who, you know, if it was the other way around and it was us, they would come and help us.
Oh,
and,
amen.
you know, I hope not, but one day, you know, we could be in a spot and need some help. And I think if you don't give, you know, you reap what you sow. So,
well, it made such a huge impact, that enormous trailer full of stuff, and we've given stuff out here and given stuff out there. It's really been such a joy to represent you and Ocala.
Thank
and
you for
Larson
doing that. Thank you for doing that. And Betsy and I, we laugh. I'm the instigator and she's the enabler. So we're a good team. I couldn't do it without Betsy from Larson Farms, by the way. She's amazing. We are actually chatting about things we weren't planning on chatting on, but it's all good stuff. So guys, I know that I have moved things around 20 times today. There's a video that we won't have time to run, but we are going to do Dancin Pete Rodda's Tip of the Week.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. Don't drop your horse or catch your horse at the gate. That's probably the most dangerous place I watch when I go on my travels around Ocala now and not where I used to go. I watch people almost get run over because they think the gate is the proper place to let them go and the proper place to go catch them. Because I've seen where the horses all go, oh, it's time to go in, and we go to the gate, which is great, but I always say, clear that gate area. Walk in and then walk past the gate and catch them somewhere out there. That way they're coming to you for their feed or their time to come in so that they look at you. I've seen so many people go, oh, look how he's coming to me. I said, well, walk past him when you go through that gate. And they walk past, the horse wouldn't even look at him. It's like, I stand here to get haltered. And when you're leaving, you have all those horses crowding you, you're going to get run over or you're going to let the whole herd out. So please, make a bubble. I'll even put markers out, put something on the ground that says everybody has to stay out there, and it's amazing how fast they will start going, oh, we're supposed to stay this far away.
I'm going to add to that, if you don't
Go
mind.
ahead. Sure.
Louisa's tip of the week.
Sure.
I had a horse for 29 years who I knew better than most people I know. He and I were like joined at the hip. He was the love of my life. And he would never do anything to hurt me deliberately. Never. Not the whole 29 years that he was my horse. I'm going to tell you that. This is a good lesson. I knew him so well, I was like, unclip, poof, off you go. No big deal, you know, he's not going to do anything. Well, he threw the biggest buck because he'd been in the stall because the weather had been bad. It was when I lived down south. He threw the biggest buck and his foot got me right there.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was not deliberate because he didn't have a mean bone in his body. But I'm going to tell you, very wise to turn a horse to face you when you turn them out. Not stand in the same direction as them, because if you stand in the same direction and they get excited and do a full buck, you might be in the path of a hoof or two. So just a thought, turn the horse to face you and then undo the halter or release the lead rope.
Yes,
so you
ma'am.
don't get it was a little sore for a bit.
Yes,
you know.
ma'am.
So there you go. If you own a horse, you probably have a dog or two. So here's that. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Exercise is the most important thing that we can give our dogs. And that's not just letting them run around in the backyard. That's taking them for a good walk where they can enjoy the smells and the sniffs of the area. Or even mental stimulation is good. Hide treats around the home or buy some of these puzzles where dogs have to move things around so they can get the treat. Or just interact with you or bond with you. Mental stimulation is just as tiring as exercise. Or join a dog club. Do some exercises with your dog in a dog club. Learn a game for your dog. Go do dock diving, do frisbee, do lure coursing. Do something fun that's exercise for the dog.
I'm just told that horses can't read you a belt buckle. 11 world titles?
Yes, ma'am.
This guy, Pete picks up guys at restaurants.
We don't need to say that. I did not pick him up. We just met him.
I thought we were going to get by you saying that. I
Yes.
really thought.
She had to throw it in there. But Greg, it's not about you. It's all about me. She's got to get me. Because I get at her on the show all the time.
He does. He gets me. Neil, exercise very important for your dog and for you, especially if you ever try and do your first 5K like I did and you weren't really very fit. So exercise is really important for you and your dog, by the way. Got a few mentions before we wrap up. Very important one is the Children's Charity Classic, February 21st. This is 10 children's charities in the Marion County area that are going to benefit from this event at HITS, Horse Shows in the Sun, here in Ocala. We're very excited that the United Way, that does so much amazing work in our community, has partnered up with HITS and some amazing equestrians who are all going to compete in costume on February 21st from 6 to 9 p.m. at HITS. It's only $10 to park. The event is free. You can get your tickets online. We're really encouraging the community to come out and cheer this event on.
Ian. No.
Yeah, you can be a sponsor. It's an inaugural event, and we're hoping it'll be annual, and it should be very, very exciting. The Horse Talk Show team will be out there, of course, recording all of it and getting interviews and sharing all of that with you. But we hope you'll all come out and enjoy an amazing facility like it and an amazing event. It's going to be a lot of fun, family-friendly fun, and come in a costume. You know I'm going to, because, you know, I'm going to have an umbrella, or a brolly, as we call it.
A brolly?
You know, Mary Poppins.
I'm not going to ask.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
an
not
umbrella,
either.
A brolly, come on. Hey, and listen, guys, I mentioned Equine earlier. The Green Pharmacist has some great little packages for Valentine's Day. It is about to be Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to all of you. And if you want to treat your horse to a wonderful Valentine's Day present, there's nothing better than Idaho's finest alfalfa.
There you go, Larson Hay.
We've got to wrap it up with you in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world.
Or not.
Happy horsing around until next time.
See you next week.